Okay, so I'm going to talk about planning all sorts of things. My stuff is over here, my notes are over here, and I cannot wait to get started. You guys like, subscribe, do all the things, help me out. I am a new YouTuber to this space, and just like and subscribe, do what you need to do to help you. Anyway, my name is Bina Walker, and I have 5 kiddos. I have a 10, 8, 6, 4, and a 1-year-old, and we have been homeschooling for 3 years now. And we use the Timberdoodle kits and Beautiful Feet books and all sorts of other books. And you can watch some of my other curriculum videos on there to get a better, gauge on what we do. And I thought it'd be kind of cool to basically do a planning video of how I plan my year for an upcoming year, since I basically finished all of it and we're about a month in now. So the very first thing I do is I plan for my whole entire year. I print out like a free PDF of like a year at a glance, and then I ask Anthony to let me know what his company days off are for, like, they have these like health wellness days per quarter, and then basically all of his other days off, and we go over what vacations we want to take. Sorry, my nose is so itchy. And any other, breaks when I have like Christmas, Thanksgiving, birthdays, or if we have family coming into town, I try to get those all down. And then what I do is I basically do our 36-week schedule, and I plan it over, 42 to 43-ish weeks. And then I just highlight everything else. After I've done that, I basically like to put in some like buffers here and there of like, okay, well, on Fridays, let's try to have a light day. So I plan to do school in my online scheduler on Timberdoodle from Monday through Thursday, so that we have that extra day just in case something does come up. And if something doesn't come up, they're able to finish their work plan, their weekly plan on that day. And so I like to have that as well. So the next thing I do is I choose our curriculum, and I pretty much do what Timberdoodle suggests for their kits for each grade. And I really like Matthew C. Their Mazdas, all about reading, all about spelling. I really like all of their choices that they have on there. Something that we've added this year and last year that we did was Beautiful Feet books for family subjects. I also create some of my own studies for art, history, and for composers, and hymns. We do like a history of hymns. And so we do the Charlotte Mason kind of style learning for those different subjects. And so I plan out what I want to teach my kids for that year. And I purchase everything and make sure I have it. And then what I start to do is I actually start to pre-read some of the books, and I kind of like skim through. I don't read every single book. I skim through basically what they're going to be learning about, because I think that those discussions of when you're reading a book, it's so enlightening to be able to connect with another person. I'm like, oh my goodness, I cannot believe, they found the map and it was hidden under blah, 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 or whatever it might be. It's nice to have that connection with your child as they're reading that book. And after you've considered, the type of school you want to do, like, do you want them to be in front of a screen, or do you want to be the sole teacher? Do you want to outsource, your math, your math curriculum and have them go to different math classes? Or do you want to do, art history at a studio or something like that, right? And so I think that once you choose the type of learning styles that you want to do and incorporate in your home, and the teaching styles of what you want to do in your home, it's easier to choose curriculum after you figure out how you want to teach and how your student learns best. And then I recommend you figuring out your why. I've talked about this before. If you do not know your why, there are going to be moments, especially in your first year, where you're like, why in the world did we decide to homeschool? And I just don't know why I even wanted to do this. I thought it was going to be easy, and it's not. And it's like a juggling act. And having your why is going to immediately bring you to your center. You're going to be grounded. You're going to know, I can do this. Write it down. I put mine smack right in the middle. Right smack on top of my planner. Like, this is why my husband and I, we want to have our family time. We want to make memories. And I love my children. I want to spend time with them. I didn't have children just to not spend time with them. That doesn't make any sense to me. Not that, I have junk on my not that sending your kids to public school doesn't mean you don't want to spend time with them, but meaning like people who send their kids to school and then they come home, they're dreading summer. Like, I can't believe my kids are here for summer. And I get that. Like, you do, whatever. You do you, man. For me, I want to spend their summer days with them because I only have 18 summers with my kiddos before they're off to college, and then they get married, they have kids, and then just like you are now, how often do you call your mother, right? See, I want my kids to be here. Anyway, so after you plan your why, like tape it to your forehead, okay? Just know your why. And then you're going to figure out like what kind of schedule you want for your day. Do you want to start at 9ish? Do you want to start after lunch? Do you want to wake up at 9 o'clock in the morning and get some chores done, run errands, and then do some schooling after dinner or lunchtime? And so figuring out your rhythm, to me, I feel like takes a couple months to figure out, because you're going to reassess every couple weeks. Like, his attention span isn't really that great at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So I might want to do school for my little kiddos, like 8 and below in the morning while they're like, their brain is nice and sharp. And then you're going to try and figure out too, like for you as a parent, what do you need to do? What do you need to do so that your cup is full, so that you're able to pour into your kids, right? And so for me, if I do not wake up on time, I am not ready. My face does not have has been washed or with my sunscreen on, I don't feel like I'm literally capable of pouring out to any person, really. And so really kind of knowing what you need to do to be on point and how you need to fill your cup. I wake up in the mornings and I need to listen to my book. I need to read my Bible. I need to pray for myself. I want to listen to some worship music, and I make my bed every single morning, because it's like that. I don't even remember what article it was. Everyone knows pretty much, like the most successful people, everything that they do, they make their beds in the morning. They have this, routine of marking things off and taking care of themselves. And so I do that every single morning, you guys. It's so great. And then I'm ready for myself to teach my kids. Anyway, and so basically plan your day. And then also you want to think about, I know that when I was first starting out, year 1 was like survival mode. You're trying to figure out who you are as a person, as a parent, a family, a homeschooling family. And then year 2 is like, you're trying to figure out your schedule, your groove. And year 3, you're still figuring it out, but you kind of know, your kids and your teaching style, what you need for a good successful day. And so you need to figure out, okay, well, should I join a co-op? The first year I was doing homeschooling, I did not join a co-op, and it was the worst decision, I think. Well, also too, I was pregnant and I couldn't smell someone, because then I would legit throw up on them. You guys, I was at church and I would bring my coffee mug and I would have like a mint tea bag in there, right? Just so I could smell it. But also in case I had to throw up, I would just lift the lid and spit up my gross. It was so disgusting. And so I just literally couldn't join a co-op because I could not be in front of anybody. But anyway, year 2, that summer between year 1 and year 2, my sister recommended, Bina, you need a support. You need other homeschooling people. I didn't know anybody at our new church because I couldn't go to church because I was pregnant, because I wouldn't smell people. And so I joined the co-op, and just knowing that there was this group of parents that I was a part of, a bunch of emails, I immediately felt connected. It was so crazy. I joined the Facebook group and people were talking about their days in my city, and it felt like I was connected even though I literally didn't meet anybody yet. And so we did a couple of field trips with them, and it was just nice to be connected. So know what you want to do and join some, go to they have like chess clubs, they have robotics clubs, they have all sorts of resources out there. We live in the Houston area and we are part of a co-op. We do park days sometimes, and at our church we started a homeschool group, and so it's just kind of nice to build community. And having your community, it makes a massive difference for your kids, for socialization for them as well. And give yourself grace for figuring out the groups that you want to be a part of, and talk to other parents. Some of them have like info nights of getting to know what the group offers, and that was really nice as well. And then the last kind of thing that I do for planning is really basically pre-reading everything and kind of what it means for a work to be done. For instance, my kiddo is doing the curriculum jump in for writing. She's in 5th grade. And so I go through what it means to be done for a lesson, and then I have her sit with me, the week or two before school starts, and then we actually read the teacher portion intro together. Like, I read it out loud to her, so she knows what the expectations of me are as the teacher and what hers are as a student. And so I basically on a post-it note write what she needs to do, like check the skill level, check your lessons, check the prompt. You're going to find your prompt here, use this journal, and like we label the journal. And so I do this for every single one of my kiddos' books. And I think for me, the reason I start in June is because I have so many kids to homeschool. If I just had the one, I probably would wait to start until, the end of July, early August, because I don't have so many. So I myself need to give myself the cushion of like a 2 to 3 week run time, because I'm juggling, 4 different homeschool schedules. And not only that, I work. And so I have to give myself enough grace to kind of plan for those ups and downs. And, this year, what I really like how I'm doing this is, in previous years, when I would have my working hours in the afternoon, I would basically say, okay, you need to do 1, 2, 3, 4 by the time I'm done. And then I go out there, nothing's happening. And then I get frustrated. And then I'm like, stinking minkin', man. Like, why didn't you do all this stuff? And so this year, if I have a meeting or have whatever, I'm just like, you know what? If you would like to work on these things, go ahead. But if you would like to take a break, that's fine. But know that when I'm done with my meeting, we are going to do these things and, have school late. And that's up to you. If you want to just take a break, go play, go have fun. We homeschool, that's fine. And so that's what we do as well. And I also like, when you're planning your homeschool, you need to know you're not trying to replicate public school at your house, right? Like for us, we're, thank God we were absolutely blessed with this house, and we built it knowing that we were going to homeschool. We built it with built-ins, with bookshelves. We love books. And, I don't really know where I was going with that. But anyway, we're just really blessed to have these spaces in our home where our kids have different learning opportunities. And so kind of plan your days and your homeschool curriculum so that you have those breaks. And let me know in the comments too, like, do you guys do a loop schedule? We have a loop schedule. Do you even know what a loop schedule is? Do you want me to do a video on our loop schedules? Let me know below. Or even like what our timeline is. I feel like that would be really helpful too. Let me know if you want a video like that. And for us, we do not do a 9:20 we're doing this, 10:15 we're doing this, and we're done by 10:40. That would legit put me out, man. Like, I cannot stick to a timeline like that. I know for work I can, but when it comes to little children, I need to have grace because I have so many. We have a dog, we have a baby. Like, my baby plans our timing and their schedule because it would not work. I feel like if I was like, okay, we're gonna do reading lessons from 10 to 10:30 a.m. every single day, that would not work out. I basically have a flow of our day, and so our flow can start at 9 or 9:30, and I like to start my flow during breakfast, but just because when someone has something in their mouth, they typically aren't speaking, so it's easier to teach that way. And so that's what we do. But anyway, subscribe, you guys. This is kind of a long video of how we plan, but if you have any questions below, let me know if I didn't cover it. I can cover it in the comments for you. I know planning can be sometimes scary at first when you're starting homeschool, because then you're just like, where do I even start? What curriculum do I need to choose? How many days do I want to do it? Do I want to do it twice a week, 3 times a week? And of course, here in Texas, you can do it any days of the week as long as you're actually doing homeschooling from a visual, in a bona fide manner. And so, just like, it's okay. Like, take your time, watch a ton of YouTube videos, and you don't need these fancy things to help you plan. I feel like, the planner I use, I got a template and it had you guys, 90 pages of things I could use. I am literally using one page, and it's just, like one page of what we, like a week spread. And so I just write down what we've done. And I think it's because I have Timberdoodle's online scheduler and I don't need to sort of plan things in that way. And even if I didn't, I think I would just read my curriculum and figure out how many lessons were on there. And then, you know, I just know if I need to do 1 or 2 lessons per week and then go from there, right? And I can maybe do sort of how I plan my loop subjects, because I know that's a little intense. A loop subject is basically you have these, you know, different subjects and you have a time block. So in that time block, let's say, you know, it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, and you want, you know, at 12 o'clock, you're doing this loop subject time. And so in these subjects, you could have history, you could have art history, you could have piano, or you could have, you know, geography. And so this is basically saying, okay, if I, on the converse, if I decided to do Mondays was only history, well, let's say you had a bunch of doctor's appointments, you know, 5 Mondays in a row. Well, you just missed history for like a month and a half. And so a loop subject just allows you to, you know, grab your next subject in that time block and then you're done. And then the next day, grab the next subject or finish the lesson and then grab that next subject in that same time block. And so we do loop subjects. I like it so much better. When I was first starting, I was like, okay, Saturdays are, you know, history and Tuesdays are this and Sundays are science. And it didn't work out. We never did science. And I mean, they had a science workbook that was a part of their plan, but I wanted to do like a more in-depth science. But now we're doing it, which is great. It's a part of our loop subject and we're doing it. Anyways, we will talk to you guys later. Like, subscribe, help me out with the algorithm, and we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.